Welcome to League Queens.
I'm Coach Jane Foreman from Team Foreman Tennis and the Team Foreman Experience.
And I'm Kim Wanowich from Rallies and Rackets and lifelong league player myself.
Together, we bring you the coach and player perspective on everything from strategy and court drama
to the mental game, the wins, the losses, and all the laughs in between.
This is League Queens.
Let's play. Hi, Jane. How you doing?
Kim, good to see you.
It is so good to see you. We're starting to move into pretty weather, which is helpful to you. Well, I guess. I think you said it was raining today where you are.
Yeah, we have some bad weather here in Miami this week. It's raining a lot, which is uncharacteristic for this time of year.
That is that definitely hampers your
my lifestyle.
Job.
That's why I'm recording this episode with you right now.
Okay, perfect. All right, guys. We have such a fun topic to talk about today that I brought up to Jane because I've had a lot of this and my friends have had a lot of this and my husband has had a lot of this. And the title of today's episode is Shitty, Wonky, Scrappy. That's it. Shitty, Wonky, Scrappy. And I know you know what we're about to talk about if you hear those words, shitty, wonky, and scrappy. So we're going to have a full conversation about what to do about that in your matches.
It's shitty, wonky, scrappy that you're playing against.
Yes. Sorry. Thank you.
It's not you yourself playing shitty, wonky, scrappy. It's when you're playing against people who have terrible strokes.
That's right.
People who have no pace on the ball. People who mishit the ball all the time.
It's a winner. The mishit is a winner. And you're like, what the hell was that?
I call that Sally Shank shitty ass short shots.
Okay, so that's what we're going to talk about today, guys. Sally short shank.
Sally shitty ass short shots.
Shanky shots. Yeah, those matches that we hate, that's what we're going to talk about today and try to figure out what to do about it and try to figure out how in the hell do you find your game when you find yourself on the court playing against shanky shitty Sally, and then you're supposed to have a good match and play the game that you know you've worked on with your own strokes and your own form and your own court placement, and it all just went off the.
And then you get off the court and you text me, not you, but you did actually text me.
I did.
So you and everybody else text me and they go, "Oh my God, the match was awful. The girl, there was one of them that could hardly hit the ball and it would just kind of dribble over and she mishit the ball." And then I go, "Oh, okay. What was your scores?" Just figuring they killed them. And they go, "Oh no, we lost." And I'm like, "What the hell?"
Yeah,
and they go, we couldn't play against them. They were terrible. And I'm like, that's ridiculous.
No, and it feels ridiculous. And then you also want to go home and quit. But even if you win 6-4, 7-5, like that's terrible. You're like, that wasn't even. I'm not even proud of myself when you win like that. I mean, I've literally had multiple matches this season that describe this, which is why I texted you. And even their volleys, like you work so hard to know where to be on the court according to where they are. And then this racket is coming straight ahead of you that has no form. And then it just, the racket's like straight ahead, hits the ball in some weird fashion and it dribbles over the net. Like you didn't even know where that was going, but that's their point because it dribbled over the net and you didn't get it.
So you're still whining about the match. And
totally. Okay. So hang on. Before that's what we're going to talk about, but I am still whining. So yeah, thanks. Before we continue my whining and your answering, I do want to back up for a minute because our last episode we talked about challenging you guys to do more progressive formations, more Australian, more I formations, and we asked you guys to text us if you did this. And I know I received some text messages, but Jane, did you?
Absolutely. I got a lot about our episode about super tiebreakers.
Oh, okay. Even before this.
I was getting that. Hey, Jane, we mixed it up in the super tiebreaker. We did some Australian. We even popped in an I formation, and we did something different every 2 points. So they're giving some progressive tactics during the tiebreaker, which
Love
is
it.
phenomenal because that in the super tiebreaker we know how there's very little margin for error, and that for you being able to take that leap and perform some of these. And for those of you who have not listened to this episode, the last episode is about progressive formatting, and the one right before, go ahead, take a deep dive into our podcast because they both go hand in hand.
Absolutely.
And listen to both of these podcasts, because if you do, you're going to empower yourselves with not only some more creativity, but with tactics to do during super tiebreakers.
And we know this because people really are getting back to us. So I actually have 2 stories from, if we're going to back up and talk about the super tiebreakers, I did post this, but when our team went to sectionals, we actually had 2 ladies come up to us and say, "Oh my gosh, we listened to your podcast on the way down here," and they won their first sectionals match in the super tiebreaker because they did what you said to do in that super tiebreaker and changed it up and followed a lot of those tactics. So right when I got to sectionals, I got hit in person, my first in person.
You know what I'm thinking too, and it just hit me, even though my Miami players have been telling me this since I started all this hoopla with the team forming experience and all this stuff. They told me I'm coaching the opponents.
That is hilarious.
They said stop. They go, stop. And it's funny because when I went to sectional,
because they had you all to themselves when you were theirs.
Yeah, they're very bitter right now. It's not good. They're very bitter, and
I can see that. Miami girls were so sorry.
Sorry, but sorry, not sorry, but it's all right. You still have to hit the ball, and I'm saving special things for the Miami girls. But it's funny. One time, just real quick, I was at sectionals and I was watching the match, and the ladies did something. Our opponents made a point or something, and she literally turned to me and said, "I learned that from one of your videos." And they just started laughing. And then my girls looked at me and go, "See?"
That's hilarious. Okay, you're reminding me of a story of one of my closest friends, on one of her other teams. I wasn't on this team, played at a club, and she won her line, but their line 1 lost. The other team that was the line 1 came over to my friend and said, "I know you're friends with Kim. You have to tell her that." She goes, "I hope you're not mad at me for saying this because they beat my friend's team." But she said, "I have to tell you this. You're friends with Kim. We listened to her podcast and I did what Jane said on the super tiebreakers, and that's why we won." So she got in her car and called me and said, one of our lines just lost because your podcast, the other team listened to it.
Coaching to the world.
Coaching to the world. Okay, so I completely forgot about our super tiebreaker stories, but now I've been getting text messages of people that have tried Australian who've tried, and I wanted to read one of them that said, messaged me yesterday or a couple days ago and said, "My favorite podcast was your most recent one. I took lots of notes. So many great strategies. When we tried the Australian formation, it rattled the receiver so much that she hit it in the net." And that's exactly what you said.
Yep,
what's going to happen in the Australian. Sometimes we worry so much that we will
not do it right. Surprise.
Mm-hmm.
The element of surprise.
Right? Don't worry so much whether you do it right. You might just get the point because you have rattled them. You said that. So,
yep.
So y'all's feedback just means the world. Any other feedback that you've gotten?
Oh yeah, I mean,
I got a lot on the Australian.
Yeah,
formation.
I got the Australian's the easiest format to do, so I would imagine that's the first thing people are going to try.
Yeah,
and I think that's great. And just I get texts all the time. I did this at this point of the match. I did this at another point, and I just give them a huge thumbs up and tell them to keep on doing it and keep on doing it at crucial times.
That's awesome.
Yeah,
I love it. Well, guys, when you send us these messages, either straight to League Queens or to myself at Rallies and Rackets or to Jane at Team Foreman, we share it with each other. It means so much to us. And also, a lot of you are sending us questions. So we have a list of future topics that are coming from you guys. So don't underestimate. We love your feedback. We love hearing from you guys, and hearing that it's helping you win a match is awesome. Except when it's against her Miami team or my team.
Don't, because man, they're gonna cut a bitch, and I think that's me.
Yeah, they're not liking it.
They're not happy with me right now.
I don't blame them. Okay. Yeah. All right. Well, thanks for the feedback. That was fun to receive that and talk about. Okay, so now let's get back to Shitty Wonky Scrappy. We all have these matches that they're not enjoyable. And I mean, my friends and I, we talk about it all the time. At least once a week, we're like moaning about it. What I think the first question to even tackle this is, Jane, how do you, I feel like there's so many things I want to try to figure out what to do about this, but how do you find your game that you know how to play when everything is coming back to you so boopy or so untraditional, so that you can't figure out where it's going as much?
So let's take a step back, okay?
All right.
Let's Kim, calm down.
Yeah. But Jane,
so
it's so frustrating.
So you have to look at each match individually, and when you're playing against somebody that is so dynamic and cracking the ball, and you're having a great time, you don't think anything of it, you're just having a great time out there battling. But when you do come up against that player who hits the ball softly with no pace, who's lobbing, who's doing, really crappy shots with crappy strokes, but getting them over the net, that produces no rhythm in your game. And you're looking at her and you have a jolt in your journey to winning this match. And the jolt is this is the first thing that comes into your head. I can't believe that I'm even tied with this girl. I can't even believe I'm losing to this girl.
Yeah.
Or I can't even believe this girl is a 3-5. She sucks. She's more like a 2-5. These are the things that are going through your head.
Yeah.
And that is nothing but gonna hurt you. And you have to approach each match individually and say, okay, this is what I got today. This is what was handed to me. And I've got to do my job. I gotta stay the course. I gotta just keep on just playing my game. And if I just fundamentally get through each game as though I know how, then I can get off the court as quick as possible. But there's so much negativity that is in your head. You're still talking about it, that you texted me 2 nights ago about your match, and you're still talking about it because it angered you so much that you almost lost to this team that they weren't strong, or at least in your mind that's not strong. Well, you know what? I'm gonna just tell you, you have to respect every single player for what they are and who they are. And you have to know that at any given day, I don't care how bad you think they are, they have a chance to beat you. And if you go in with that mindset, then you're going to go in there and just do your job and get off the court. So what does it mean to do your job? It means to do whatever you normally would do in a above average match of your level, and stick to it. But you don't start talking like this when you're playing somebody that you think is good or strong. You think about more tactics that you may have to do, or more weaknesses. And in this case, you may just need to stick to the basic fundamentals of let's just make sure we cut out our unforced errors, make sure that we, get our serves in. Let's not overhit our returns. People start overhitting and doing things that they really shouldn't do because they think the girls are so bad that they think that they should beat them 6-0, 6-0, 6-1, 6-0. And then when the score gets all of a sudden it's 4-all, that's even worse. Because now you're thinking, what the hell am I doing at 4-all with these girls who are terrible? So once you change your mindset of how you approach each match, then you can adjust how you're going to play. And let me just tell you right off the bat, it's not going to be fun. And you're going to have to deal with that. You're going to have to deal with, okay, this is what I got, and I'm not going to be cracking it back and forth with somebody fun. I got to figure out how to just stick to my game and win the match. And you would be fine because you're the better player. But all these other external outside feelings and emotions and things come into your head.
So you're saying we're just sabotaging it from the get-go because we're already like, oh my God, and we're so annoyed.
Like even in your warm-up, you're looking at him and you're looking at the girl who's shanking balls in the warm-up and she looks so bad. So before you even start your match, you have a predisposed idea of what that match should be like. And as it doesn't come out like the way you think, like it just doesn't happen, then that escalates things even more. So the mindset's the most important thing. And I don't care if they hit the ball well or not, you have to respect them. You have to respect them.
That's a really, really interesting thought. Respect everybody's game, even though you're thinking like, oh my gosh.
Nope.
But that's how they play.
So that's how they play. That's number one. Number two, this goes in line with your mindset of how everybody likes to play. For instance, I'm gonna bring up some situations. Combo tennis. Okay, combo tennis is a perfect venue to improve your game. And you're thinking it should improve your game if you, as a 3-5 player, should be playing 7-5. But I'm thinking it's a perfect venue to improve your game if you play 6-5. And I encourage all of my players from 2-5 to 4-5 to play the lower level combo along with the higher level combo, because I think that's a golden opportunity for you to improve as an overall player. Think about it. When you're the 3-0 player playing in 5-5, no one wants to play 5-5 as a 3-0. And when you're the 3-5 player, no one wants to play 6-5. And then when you're the 4-0 player, no one wants to play 7-5. They're all looking to play one level up because it's way more fun to play higher level players. Well, I'm telling you that you're just being enabled. And if you really want to improve your overall game on the court, how to control the court, how to be an alpha on the court, how to manage the court, you need to play lower level combo. And that's kind of like a little bit in line with what we're talking about.
Because when you play that lower level combo, you're going to be getting
some of this off
shitty and wonky and
So let me ask you a question. Do you
I know what you're going to ask me?
I'm going to ask you. So you're 3-5, but you play 3-5 and you play 4-0 tennis. I know you like to play both. So I go, do you play 6-5 tennis?
No.
Oh my God. Kim, you're a combo snob.
Yeah, I love 7-5. I live for 7-5. I don't even want to get bumped up because I love my 7-5 teams and it's such good tennis. And no, I don't.
So let me ask you another question before I chastise you for being a combo star.
Great.
Not star. I'm going to call you.
I'm like
no, you're not a combo star.
Representing all of you guys that are complaining about shitty, wonky, scrappy tennis, who don't want to play lower level tennis. I just want you to know I am sitting here in this spot right now taking one for the team. I am having shitty, wonky podcast hosting right now, taking one for the team because she's
you're a combo snob. You're absolutely.
I just want to play good tennis.
Okay, so let me ask you another question.
I just want to play good tennis, Jane.
Let me ask you a question. Would you rather have a fast-paced, dynamic match at 7-5, okay, or even at your 3-5 and 4-0, and it's just boom, boom, bam, wow, what a game, wow, great point, and lose, or would you rather play wonky, scrappy tennis match and win?
Oh my God, I'd rather play the really great hard match and lose, but I feel like you're going to tell me that's the wrong answer. Yeah,
I'm hanging up on this podcast. I'm hanging up on this podcast right now.
Why? That's okay, guys. Please message us right now when you listen to this podcast.
I know what they're going to say.
If I'm the only one that would rather play a great match and lose than play shitty and win.
You're not the only one, but
please,
I am in the business of winning matches. and I'm going to try to make you a better player.
But I want to play better. I want to play a good match.
I'm gonna promise you that if you can learn to control the court, manage the court, and beat the lower level player the way you should, then you've closed the gap of your errors to your winners. That way you've developed some self-confidence, and that's when you move up a level. Instead of having that higher level enable you to have a great match. I'm not telling you never to do that. That's fun, and that's always going to be fun. But if you really want to,
playing with better players also does make you play better. But I understand what you're saying.
You have to be able to play every level of play. You have to be able to play the players who are weak, and you have to beat them like you should beat them. You should, how many times have you come off the court? Not maybe you, but just the general public that I'm speaking to, where you come off the court and saying, "Oh my God, that was so bad. I know I'm better than that person, but I can't believe I just lost to them." That means when that happens to you, and it happens to everybody, that means
it happens a lot.
You're not ready to move up a level. You're not ready.
But you're saying you're not ready to move up a level because you can't beat the lower level. To wonky, crappy ball?
100%. You should be able to beat and handle, or you should be able to handle all the levels around you, and you should be able to beat the lower level player the way you should beat them according to your level. It may not be as fun, and I'm going to admit that, but you should be able
it's not fun.
You should be able to handle it and beat them. And until you can do that,
beat them? Because even in the matches that I'm telling you about, I didn't lose them. I just felt in my head that I should have won them like 2-0. Easier. And I didn't do that. So are you still saying, oh, you're not ready to move up if you can't? You need to win them handily?
But you could see it, measure it. So if you are playing weaker players and you're barely winning in a super tiebreaker, you're probably not 100% ready to move up.
Yeah. No, I understand that. And USTA is not going to let you move up because
if you beat him 6-3, 6-3, 6-4, 6-3, even though you think you should beat him 6-1, 6-2, then you're winning. You're just not enjoying it, and maybe you lost a couple of extra games that you shouldn't have lost.
I would say that's more what's happening. Well, we're talking about me right now, but we're not supposed to be talking about me. We're supposed to be talking about everyone.
It's not all about you.
Well, so you asked me the question, I got distracted more about me. So, okay, forget about me. I would say for me, that is what's I won them, but felt like it should have been more, but whatever. For the rest of this podcast, doesn't it's
okay. I'm being hard on you today.
Yeah, good answer. If you're not winning them,
if you don't feel like you're handling it, if like you really feel like you're in jeopardy of losing a match to that type of player, then you're probably not 100% mentally or physically ready to move up. Maybe physically, but not mentally, and those things have to align for you to really move up a level. That's a generalized statement.
Okay.
But
we are talking about a very specific type of game, not just someone who is a lower level than you that you can't seem to beat, or someone who's at your level that you had a similar match with that you can't seem to beat. We are talking in this podcast about a very specific type of match you're playing against that person, which is the wonky, shitty ball. So how do you go into a match like that, or find yourself in a match like that? What do you say that you can do to find your game? How do you play your game? We all come out and we say the same thing. I didn't play my game. I played their game. How do we not do that? How do we find our game in the midst of that?
I think you should play the game like you always play. You shouldn't try to overhit. You shouldn't try to underhit. I think you should approach the match like you would approach any match that you feel as though you're equal to on the court. And that's the respect that you need to give that level. I would try everything that you would normally try and do everything that you normally do, and don't change your game for this level of play. I mean, think about it. Just think about this. This is a little bit of it's not 100% analogy, but it's in the family. How many times do people say, "Oh, I love returning a hard first serve," as opposed to these weak little terrible second serves? I have trouble returning second serves.
Right.
It's the same. It's the same thing.
The whole match is a weak second serve.
Yeah, the whole match is the weak
The whole
second
match
serve.
is okay.
So you think about it like that. You don't, you're playing against. I think every level has weak second serves. So even at the 4-5, even at the 4-5 level. So you approach your match as though you would approach any other match, with the same level of respect, and using your same tactics, and not overhit, not underhit, not, just stop whining that you're playing somebody horrific. Just do your job, do what you know how to do, and then get off the court.
Okay, but you're saying hit your ball. Hitting a great ball from the baseline is very different than hitting a boopy ball that comes.
Right, they're not doing it on every single shot.
You can't rip that ball; you'll rip it out. So,
right.
So here's what we do: we just bonk it back because you're mid court, and then that's when you start.
You got to find your where you can comfortably keep the ball in play. You have to find your, just say, okay, and know what you have. So we've gotten rid of the mental aspect of it.
Okay. Yeah.
And then, maybe give yourselves margin of errors. Like, for instance, in the middle, if they hit a weak ball that's in the middle of the court, give yourself a margin of error, like aiming for the tee on the other side of the court, so you don't rip it long, so that at least you're, hitting, maybe higher percentage shots, just to get something going, so you have, something to work with. So you don't just take a ball and just start ripping it. Still come to net like you normally would, still hit back, but it, may take you a couple extra shots than normal, than what you want to do. But you may have to adjust with just your margin of errors, with your margin of errors based on your shot selection. So your shot selection adjusts here and there. Maybe you, okay, if they're hitting like kind of like no pace, higher balls, yeah, you might have to hit some, higher balls back to them. So maybe more balls are in play than normal.
Maybe that's what it feels like, is you end up getting into more boopy balls.
And then if you've been formanized, you got to take some of those out of the air. That I still want you to come in off the return of serve. I always say, when you're playing against people like that, the least amount that you keep in play, the better, and get up to net, and take as many balls in the air and volley the ball. So I'm not really too concerned about that. You have to you found your way when you realized these girls were not good, and you found your way to do it. And good players will do that. And then they'll come off the court and bitch about it. But the first is respect everybody. The second is minor adjustments with things that you can do according to the shots. And third, the more that you can, take out of the air, and the more that you can volley, the better.
I think that's probably, in terms of the physically or the strategy on the court, is we should be taking more out of the air, so that doesn't mean you can take the first one out of the air, but you're going to have like one or two boopy ones, and then try to set yourself up. So maybe that third one is you end it at the net. Yeah. You have to end it somewhere. You can't just keep bopping it until you're the one that makes a mistake, because it's your least favorite type of ball to hit.
And that's where you feel like you're coming down to their level. And
that's right.
And everybody hates when they go down to the level. They love to play up to the level of stronger players, because that's much easier to do and much more fun. But when you come down to their level, that's when you feel like you've lost it a little bit. So you got to find the balance, and you got to, that's the balance, is this: trying to stay within your own game as the best to your ability, and avoid just absolute reverting to coming down to their level and just playing whatever game that they're handing you.
And I think that's what we're all saying that we do, but we don't really know how to not do that. So I feel like that is, if the biggest thing we can help listeners do is how do you not do that? Do you practice? Well, we'll tell you one thing we practiced in our clinic this week. because of that, we did practice something good. But well,
I'm going to tell you.
You're
I'm
going
going
to
to tell
say
you.
first, and then do you work on your top spin so that you're not just hitting a boopy ball back? You're hitting
no. You always work on your strokes. You know that's you have to. You're always work on your strokes. Always work on your spins and your strokes and do what you normally do. But in order to play against people controlling the court and managing the court on lower level people, or people who, I'm calling them lower level people because they're lower rated people than you. You know, their skills aren't up to your standards. How do you play against them?
And sometimes they're the same rated player,
yeah.
same level player.
It's just their strokes aren't strong.
They just play a weird,
right,
non-traditional boopy ball. And there's a lot of ladies that play that tennis, and they're still 3 5s and 4 0s. That's just how they play.
Right. You know, we used to call them growing up hacks.
Yes,
we used to call them hacks.
It feels like
we used to say, "Oh my God, she's such a hacker." I mean, they don't use that word anymore, but I mean,
let's bring it back.
People of my era will know exactly what I'm talking about. And I'm like, who? I mean, we used to say that in juniors. You know, oh my God, she's awful. She's a hacker, and then we'd lose. So it's
okay. So you did it too?
Oh, of course,
okay.
Of course. Okay. You know, and think about, the pros don't like to play hackers. They love to pound the ball with each other. When they play, who's the pro? What's her name? The one that slices every ball? You know who I'm talking about? She literally, her stroke is slicing the ball.
It's just
every
a
time.
slice.
I forget. I forget. But she cracks me up when I watch her play in the pros, because it's so untraditional to how the pros are smacking the living daylights
the crap out of it.
And then when this girl plays, they can't stand playing against her. She slices her backhand and forehand, but she slices every shot. And they can't stand playing against her. Anyway, this is how you deal with this, okay?
All right.
You go and you practice, and you put this in your practice repertoire of playing lower rated players. Everybody loves friendlies against your high level players.
Yeah.
And Kim, are you a practice snob also, as long as with the combo snob? So will you practice with lower level players?
That's a loaded question for me, because I just practice with my friends, with my friend group, and my friend group is a mix of 3 5 and 4 0 players. And I practice with them because we don't get to play together all the time if we're playing a match, or we're on some teams together, we're not on some teams together. So I have to answer that I practice with my friends. If a lower level wanted to play, I would play now that you told me to. Maybe now that
but I'm saying, but not because the lower level, of course the lower level player wants to play with you, but I think you and your partner need to seek that out and add that to you. It doesn't have to be all the time, maybe once a month, and or whatever, so that you play an unenjoyable, low level. Why are you laughing at me?
Because you said, go plan unenjoyable tennis, Kim.
Yes,
that's
absolutely.
What you just said.
So
because take your time and plan unenjoyable tennis, Kim.
Yes, exactly right. So you have to play against every level. You have to learn how to play every level: high level, low level, medium level. You've got to know how to deal with it, so that when you do get in the match, I don't get that text going, what do I do? So you need to ingratiate yourself with all levels of play, so that it's not a big deal when you go just, and then you look at your partner and you laugh. You go, "This is what we got. I'm so glad we practiced this. So let's just practice. Let's just play this match exactly how we played." And when you do practice with that lower level player, okay, you play all out.
Yeah.
You don't placate to them. You don't try to do anything different to them. You don't try to encourage them by giving them some games here and there. You play all out, because that's how you're going to play your match. And I think that's the best advice I can give anybody that is struggling with this problem.
Yeah. Okay. I hear you. And for the record, I'm not a practice snob. I've never been like, I'm not going to play with that person.
I think I was tough on you today. I
just play with my friends. Well, I don't want you to make me look bad as a...
No, you're not looking bad. I'm
kidding.
You're
okay,
representing everybody.
I'm representing. Like I said, I'm representing all of you, and I'm getting a beat down for all the people, not just for Kim. So that's great.
And you're let me just in your defense, because I feel maybe a little bad, not really,
A little bad,
but
okay.
not really. But in your defense,
I know that you don't actually feel bad. I'm just making you feel like you should.
You are the majority.
Yeah.
So what the same conversation I'm having with you is all the girls that I teach in Miami,
for sure,
and I'm sure it's all these women that are flying in. It's the same thing.
Yeah, we are definitely all the same anywhere you go. That's for sure. Okay, I do want to share one thing that we did practice in our clinic this week because of having these conversations with my friends who were also having these matches. So this is something you guys can all practice. And I actually made a video about it. I haven't posted it yet, but I did make a video about this. We actually practice in our clinics hitting a boopy ball, that boopy midcourt ball. We find ourselves in a match just like being like, oh, just have to return it because I don't want to rip it out. We practiced being aggressive and taking it as an approach shot. And we did it like 9 times out of 10. But then you go in a match and you're playing it safe and you're like, I just want to return it. So that's one thing that you always say is don't. And do you know what? One of the girls in my clinic, when we were practicing it, turned to me and said, isn't this what Jane says? We should play to win, not play not to lose. So she said that from listening to your podcast. And I was like, oh my gosh, exactly. So we have to play to win, take that boopy ball as an approach shot winner.
Play like you normally play
and you'll learn. Safely bonking it back. And that's where we get into their game. More like boop, boop,
but again,
boop. Yeah,
but
take
again,
it out.
But again, it's different doing it in clinic than it is when the guy's feeding the ball to you. And
so different.
And when the girl is actually hitting it to you, when it's live ball,
it's so different.
It's different. So it's not real. And that's why what's real is once a month, give yourself once a month and go beat up on some of your, maybe some lower level players that would be so thrilled to play with you, Kim. They would love it.
Call me up, ladies. I gotta. If you played boopy ball in Charlotte, if you have some boopy balls,
that's great. Yeah,
call me. I need to practice some boopy balls and tell Jane that I did it because I try to do everything in our podcast that we tell you guys to do. I try to do. So yeah, we'll see. All right. What else? How else can we help people play crappy hacks? How to play
hackers. How to play hackers. I don't think there's anything different that you do with your game. I think we've covered it all where you stick to your game. You have to find what that rhythm is, and that's the reason for the practice against lower level players or players that maybe that absolutely cannot hit the ball like you do, and that way you'll find your rhythm in the practice and of how you can do what you know how to do without a hard ball coming
without a hard ball. We got to do what we know how to do without the ball that we want coming to us to do it.
And the number one thing though is to respect every player.
You're right about that. We got to stop complaining about it, guys, and we got to respect their game because that's just their game, and they could,
and they're winning.
Yeah,
or are they trying?
Well, yeah, I don't know. I can't promise everyone's winning record with that, but
yeah,
whether we're winning or not winning the way we want to win, is it kind of the same. Right. You come off and you're like, I mean, we played some tricky girls the other night, and we did lose the first set. But during that set, my partner and I figured out what to do. We came back and won 6-1, and we won the tiebreaker 10-3 and pretty quickly. So it doesn't mean you're losing. We didn't like the way the first set went. It was weird. It was kind of some weird tennis. And I will answer my own question. We weren't taking balls out of the air in the first set. And in the second set, we took every ball out of the air.
You just immediately played down to their game. So
we immediately did. And I'm not trying to talk badly about the people that we played. It just was a slower game with wonky balls, and we were letting them bounce. And then when we took them out of the air, we won the second set 6-1. So it's just, you do have to figure out anyway.
Yeah.
Okay, so I think this is a great topic because we all do it. We all complain about it. We all I love it. Let's end on this. If you guys can't, if you're listening to us, you can't see us, but if you watch YouTube, you can see the video, and also you'll see some clips of us on Instagram with this episode. But I am wearing my Charlotte Tennis hoodie, brand new from our new city collection in Rallies and Rackets. So I'm just going to give a quick plug for this new collection. Go to Rallies and Rackets. Because this is our podcast and you're listening, use the code LeeQueens15 and get 15% off of all of our brand new hoodies, long sleeve shirts, tank tops, short sleeve shirts. They're so adorable, every color, and you're going to customize it for the city that you play tennis with. So when you go see Jane and you all want to have a cute something representing the city that you're coming to visit Jane with, go to Rallies and Rackets first. If you're going to states and sectionals and all the things, or you just want to be cute on the court, go to City Collection on Rallies and Rackets. It's brand new and I'm super excited. And this is just one of our new looks.
Sounds great. It is. I love it. I'm gonna wear, once you send me Miami tennis, I'm going to wear it proudly.
I love it. You pick out which one you want, and we're sending you Miami tennis. You're going to be so cute. I can't wait to see it. And also,
also for Team Foreman tennis, the Team Foreman experience is hot. It's hot on the trail. So I encourage, if you're thinking about wanting to come and do a Team Foreman experience, which is a fun mini camp. A lot of teams and groups come to do a girls' weekend, and we have it all set up for you where you're going to get Foremanized. You're going to get all this great strategy sessions. You're coming for great instruction, but you're going to have some fun in Miami as well.
It's going to be fun.
Beyond that. So I encourage you to go to the website and fill out a form if you want to get some information at teamforemanexperience.com.
Love it. So make sure you're following Jane so you can see all her videos and you learn so much from the strategy that she's teaching the ladies that are coming to get Foremanized, and then go spend your girls' weekend. But make sure you're following Team Foreman Tennis. Make sure you're following at Rallies and Rackets. And then third, we so much for you to do. Please also follow Lee Queen's podcast so you make sure and not miss a new episode when we drop one, and share all of it with your teammates because you want them to learn all the good things and also have all the laughs that we are all giving you guys in ladies tennis, because it's just as important to get better as it is to laugh at the sport that we love, right? We all need to be laughing.
And win.
And win. And play lower level. And play down. And stop. All right. Thanks for listening, guys. Share it with everybody. Thanks, Jane. And we will see you next time. That was fun. Bye.